All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Power Lounge. This is your place for authentic conversations for women in digital who have power to share. My name is Amy Vaughn, and I'm the owner and chief empowerment officer of Together Digital, a diverse and collaborative community of women who work in digital, who choose to share their knowledge, their power, and their connections. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can at www.togetherindigital.com. And today I am here and excited to introduce all of you to Jeanne Omlor.
Zhan.
Jeanne, thank you, Jeanne. And I always get so anxious when it comes to pronouncing names, and I should have asked you before we even came on. Thank you, Jeanne.
No problem.
She is a business profit strategist and coach for coaches, consultants, and service providers, a natural born motivator and eager. She has a track record for voracity, for helping business owners scale their business online to multiple 6 or 7 figures while being visionaries and trailblazers they are destined to be out in the world. She has a multi-background as a fashion designer. Julie is going to be like nerding out with you after this, Jeanne. She also studied fashion design, actress, filmmaker, and executive recruiter for Wall Street. Jeanne, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this.
Yes, we are going to start talking about how to win with organic marketing, which so many of us, a lot of our listeners, a lot of our members work in digital marketing and advertising. And, organic kind of sometimes just gets a bad rap. It doesn't get the love and attention that it needs and deserves. And I think one of the things that was most striking about you is just the results that you managed to get with organic marketing and the cases that you make for organic marketing. And we're going to get into all of that. I promise those of you who are listening, I promise. But I also, as we were starting to talk about doing this interview, I was just really awestruck by your personal journey and your personal story. So I would love for you to share with our listeners, for any other women out there who may be struggling with life, work ambitions, the status quo, how did you get here? What was your background? What was your story?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say on this interview, I'm not going to be giving you vague things because sometimes I hear I'm going to really be giving you very concrete things that I did so that everybody here can leave with something very, very concrete because that's how I think. And I think that's what's helped people. So first of all, I'm going to go through my story. It's long. I'm really open about my age. I'm 57 years old and I became a millionaire in between the age of 54 and 55. I'm almost at 2 million. So I had a lot of failure in my life. I'm just going to go through it. Born in California, moved to Australia when I was 7, grew up there. I'm from a family of 10 children. My parents just moved us in the 70s, which nobody did. I studied fashion design. Then I thought, oh, this is just so trivial. So I gave all my clothes away and went backpacking. So I was like one of those people that was just finding herself like a hippie. And I did that for a while. But I found acting and I started acting and I was poor for years. I had the money story of an artist, the old poor money story. So I went for that for years, thinking I was better than everybody else because, I'm virtuous because those people care too much about money. Went on for years. Okay. Lived in Europe for 8 years. I lived in a garret like Mimi and La Boheme. I mean, I had no heat and I thought it was just like so romantic for a while. And then after 6 years in Paris, I thought, you know what? I was at that point, like 32. And I thought I need to make my life happen. So I moved to the States. I didn't even have a social security number because I'd moved so much earlier in my life. So I moved to New York and started living in New York, which is not hard from scratch. And I got a job as an executive recruiter by accident. The guy was like, you would be amazing at this. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anything about a stock or a bond. He goes, we'll teach you. So I became, and I said, but I only want to work part-time because I want to do my acting and I want to do my creative pursuits. He said, sure. So I always negotiated a 4 or 3 day work week. I became really good at this. And I was a top executive recruiter on Wall Street working 3 days a week. And I thought it was amazing when I made 100K or 125K one year. I thought I am so rich. I've made 125K working 3 days a week, which is not bad, but I thought that was just so much money. And I was just like the queen of the world. Okay. So then 9/11 happened. There was no executive recruiting going on. So I went back to acting and I just thought, I'm just going to try to really be serious about making a living off my acting. So I got a bunch of background work, which even in New York, getting that is difficult. I was living hand to mouth and I thought, did that for a while. I got a few gigs consulting and then I got married at the age of 40. Disastrous marriage. really wasn't a good marriage. And it really took me away from myself. All my days were just for 4.5 years. I counted 4.5 years. I had 2 kids in that time. It was always about, let's save this marriage. And I realized my whole identity was save the marriage, save the marriage. I lost myself being a mom and saving the marriage till I just couldn't take it anymore. And I thought I was in a depression, and I had a 1-year-old, and I thought, I can't do this. I'll be in a psych ward. So I did the very hard thing. I had no money at all, not at all. And I left my husband. Well, actually made him leave. And my therapist at the time, she goes, what are you doing? I said, I will die in this marriage. I will die in this marriage if I don't do something. My friends are like, what are you doing? I said, I have to leave. Well, he had to leave. So he left. And I became a solo parent at the age of 46 with a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old in New York City. I don't know if you've been to New York City, but it's not easy.
Super kid friendly. Not at all.
Strollers on the subway and of course.
Right? How do you even?
Huh?
I was like, yes. How do you even? I don't even know how
it was hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But, I'm a tiger mom. I'm a warrior mom. So my kids always went to all these courses. I was, homeschooling, even though she was only 4. Then they did homeschool. I would literally work 4 hours a day. And I was doing 4 hours at night for 2 years. I started my business because I was taking care of the kids from 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. every night for 2 years. That was about a year and a half. And then I started getting a little bit of babysitting so I could do some in the day. I literally realized if I don't work from 7 till 12, I won't be able to do this business because I was taking care of my kids from 7 till 7. And every night I just worked from 7, and I got midnight, I went to bed, and then I was up by like 6:30. Okay. Took care of them. Parks, you have to do that in New York City. And I did the mathematics. How am I going to make this happen when I'm taking care of my kids all day? So, and then I got a little bit of babysitting after that night, so I got to 100K. I think the second year, I thought I was a rock star. Second or third year. It's like, I am a rock star. Okay. Oh, no, I think it was the third or fourth, actually, come to think of it. But, the first year in business, I made 10K, and I was like, oh, well, at least I'm getting some clients. So that was the beginning of the coaches. So I became a coach, by the way, started a coaching business. I actually started a kids fashion blog, which became really well known, like in 3 months. They were like, this is amazing because I'm really artistic. Wasn't making much money from that, but I got out there and I started feeling like myself again because I felt like nothing. I'll repeat that. I felt like nothing in that marriage. I thought I was unattractive. When I left it, I thought I was an idiot. I had no confidence at all. And the kids' blog got me out there, and people were like, you're amazing. This blog's amazing. And I got a little bit of advertising, a ton of free loot. All these designer brands were sending me stuff because they just wanted to be on it. So I thought, wow, that was a confidence boost. So from there, I thought, this isn't working. After about, I don't know, maybe 7 months, I thought, oh, I got to do something else as well. So I became a coach, online certification, got a business coach right away. And I put it on a credit card. And then I got a 0% card and moved to the balance. And that's what I did for years. Okay. Other people's money, 0 interest. People don't think of that. I did. Okay. So I'm pretty resourceful. So then the whole offline thing and getting babysitters and wiping avocado off my shirt to go to an networking event, and very slow offline. I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a hustle. Now, the one regret in my life is that I wish I'd just gone online right away. I would have been a multimillionaire. I wouldn't have had to do all that, but I got to let that go. Okay. So I can tell you what doesn't work. And the good thing is I can tell you what doesn't work and what does work. Okay. So then after 4.5 years, I was going to go online. I remember telling my friend, I'm going to go online. That's it. I'm going to get it online. Now I'm ready. Great. Then my ex and his family hit me with divorce and kidnapped my children. So my children are kidnapped now, and I had to get them back, and took 6 days. And that was just 1.5 years of trauma because we were in the courts for 1.5 years in New York City. Every bit of money I made was sucked out of our life. And I went into deep debt just to pay for the divorce because it went on and on and on. So really, really functioning. I was just keeping the couple of clients I had and getting into more debt. I was like, great. I also had to take care of my kids and make sure they were okay. We managed to be able to escape to Cincinnati. That's why we're there, because my brother lives there. And the judge let us go. I was like, I'm going. It was like the bird flying through the window. We're going. So we moved, just packed, gave all my stuff away again. People just came and took furniture, just take it, packed up what we had, and we moved in the space of 3 weeks. Okay, after living somewhere for more than 10 years. Whew. moved there and I had to start all over in Cincinnati, and I started networking, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Then I got my mojo back, got my confidence back after 2 years of living there. I thought, that's it. And I did a big event and I packed the place, which is really hard in Cincinnati. You know that, Amy, right? I did 12 weeks of marketing and I packed a hotel like place, and it was like I was back, and I did my live event again. And I got some people into my group program, which was all for offline people. Then I thought, that's it. I'm going to go online. And I found a program I wanted to do that was 10K. And I thought, I'm already in deep debt. Why don't I buy a house and flip it and get 10K and pay for it? Wrong. I bought a sheriff scale house. It was the worst house in the whole world. Drug addicts had been in there, and everybody's like, why did you buy this? My brother's like, why did you buy that? You're going to lose all your money. And I had bought it on credit, and the little bit of money I had left. More stress. I was in a state of anxiety. This was 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago. And I thought, what am I doing? I just should have bet on myself and plonked down more money. So I put a lockbox, and I had to put a mask on and take 30 bags of rubbish. The house was full of garbage and like meth and diaper. I mean, it was awful, and mold. And I dragged down 30 bags myself. People were like, how did you even do that? I said, well, I can't afford to get anybody to do it. So you had a pathway through the house now, which was awful, unimaginably bad, terrible. And I thought, I'm putting a lockbox on it. People can see it, and I'm going to sell that for the exact number I bought it for. I found one. Okay. So then I thought, put it to the side. It was hard, so much anxiety, because now I'm in deep debt. And I plonked down 10K on 3 different credit cards to do this online course. It wasn't the best course in the world. There was zero support, but I got the kernel of what organic marketing is. And I ran with it, and I cracked the code, and I made it better. And I got no clients for 7 weeks. On the 8th week, I cracked the code. I got my first client, and we danced around our house. My daughters and I, we danced and cried, because I knew that was the beginning, and they did too. They saw. My daughters are smart. And then I got 2 more clients. I made 15K in 1 week, 15K. The next month I made 30K. The next month I made 40K. Next month I made 50K. COVID started 3 months later. I got my first 159K sale month, 11 months after I started online. And I got to $1 million in 17 months with no ads. And it was me and a part-time person that worked 2 or 3 hours a day. My profits were about 95%. Okay. So this is why I love organic. Okay. And I'm almost at 2 million now in revenue after 3 years, almost 3 years, not even quite. It'll be 3 years and 2 months.
That's amazing.
That's the whole story.
See why I wanted to have you all hear it. When I first met her, I was like, I feel like we need to turn this into a book or a movie or all of the above, because, yeah, I mean, even as you were talking, a lot of our live listeners in the chat were talking about how the story resonates, how they're feeling so much of this right now, balancing their professional careers, balancing having their kids at home, going through divorce. And so this group, especially Together Digital, we love transparency. We love showing that success is not without struggle. I think because sometimes when we kind of paint the picture of this idea and perfection and success, it sets an unrealistic bar. And so thank you so much, Jeanne, for
welcome. And the last thing I want to do is trigger people. I don't want to trigger people like, oh, look, she did it. And no, it was painful. And I was so low so many times in my life, because I failed at being a famous actress, failed it so much. And I remember saying to somebody, an ex-boss, I said, I've never been a huge success at anything I've done. And this was when I was 46. And I remember thinking, why? I know I'm meant for more. So I finally at this age, and I'm just saying, 57 years old now. Yeah. Never too late. It's never too late. Don't give up.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dig into it. Let's learn out about some organic marketing. So, you kind of led into a little bit with your story, but outside of those points that you made there, outside of cost, obviously organic has some appeal because of that. What else attracted you to pursue organic marketing versus paid?
Well, the thing is, I knew ads weren't working. And by the way, I'm now testing ads, because I think it's really important when you say, oh, this is amazing. You want to also be able to say, I've tested both. Now, I've sunk so much money into ads recently in the last 5 months to test them. They do not work like organic. When you get people on phone from ads, they are unqualified. They don't know who you are. Organic people know me. They see me on social media. They're in the groups with me. They've been all over my timelines. They see my testimonials. They know. They looked at my lives. They looked at my stories. They looked at my reels. They've seen it all. So they're like, oh, wow, I've already done my deep dive. When you get people from ads, they're just so unqualified. And even when we're testing. So I've spent a lot of money, and I am not, seriously, I'm in the red with ads. So I know the difference now, and I've really tested it. And I'm not, you want to really be able to compare to say it's better. But now I so much love organic because I see the grass is not greener over there. No, it's not. And I've tested Google ads, Facebook ads. I mean, I've tested a lot because I test everything. What is so great about organic is that people know you, they like you, they trust you because they can do a deep dive. What is also great about organic, it's free. It is free. You can do as much of it as you want. You're not worried about the pay-per-click. It's amazing. It really is. And when you get people on a call, they are qualified. They go, oh, I've seen you on this. I've looked at that, checked out your Instagram. I've checked out your Facebook. So I checked out they check you out to make sure you're bona fide. So by the time they get on that call, they already know who you are.
Yeah.
They're hot leads.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. They're looking by choice versus by being forced and served up an ad, whether it's relevant or irrelevant to them. So that makes a lot of sense. Now, for everybody that's listening, I know like our members run the gamut of women who are deeply, experienced in these kinds of things, and those who are just starting out or maybe even leveraging organic for their own businesses. So I wanted to kind of ask some questions that will kind of make sure that everybody listening gets something out of this.
Sure.
So I wanted you to help us understand what qualifies as organic marketing. Are there channels and spaces that we don't often think of or consider for those who are maybe more attuned to what organic marketing is? Once we've defined what it is, where are some spaces and places that maybe we're not always thinking about leveraging for organic?
Sure. Okay. So anything that's not paid is organic. So there's two ways. There's only two things in marketing. I'm sorry. People, they want to complicate everything, and I want to simplify everything. There is paid, and anything that's not paid is organic. There's just two. So when people are saying, I want to do something different, you can't do something different. There's just two. Now, what you do with the paid, there's a lot. And what you do with organic, there's a lot. So I'll go through all the ways of organic marketing. So marketing from social media platforms is all organic. Like I got to $1 million just on Facebook and a little bit of LinkedIn. Facebook was all I was doing for a while. That was just one thing. And I teach that one thing, because when you don't focus, we'll talk about this in a minute, but I'm going to go into that. But anyway, I start with one thing. Okay. Then I did LinkedIn. Now I'm on Instagram. Okay. So I'm on 3 now. Okay. But I didn't hit them all at once because I had FOMO. I know about focus. And I thought, nope, I'm not doing Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, TikTok, YouTube all at once. Pinterest. No, I am a little bit on those just so people can find me. Okay. So these are all the organic: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter. They're all organic. You're not paying for it. A lot of people do well on Twitter, even WhatsApp. People are using WhatsApp to get clients now. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a strategy. Now there's so much you can do. So you got to pick a lane. So that's the first one. Emailing is also organic. It's free. Okay. Podcasts are organic marketing.
Yep.
This is organic marketing, what you're doing. You're not paying. Okay. You are marketing to a network, and it's free. So all of this is organic marketing. So that's kind of it, what you can do with organic marketing. I think I just hit almost every single thing. All right.
Yeah, definitely. And what are some of the, what are some of the best practices that you've seen in organic? And the second half of that question will be, what are some of the worst mistakes people make in organic marketing?
Okay. So what did you, best practices? Okay. Best practices are, and you're not going to expect this, be a human being, is to have a soul to soul conversation with people. Now, I was an actress, so I'm good at this. I'm good at, like, there's Amy, I'm full attention. I'm not thinking about all these other people. I'm talking to you. Of course, I'm looking at some of the questions here, and I'll answer those later, of course. But in social media, the best practices that really work, people say this all the time. They say, wow, you're a human being. You're not spamming me. You're not just like a number. So you've got to be, well, this is for life, focused on the person in front of you. And this is also for networking. If you learn this focus and not be looking at your watch, when you're at networking events and they're like, oh yeah, hi, oh yeah, yeah, great to meet you. You're like, no, it wasn't great to meet you, because you wouldn't be looking at your phone if it were. Okay. So attention to other people is a winner with your children, with your life, in networking, and online. Same thing. Quick story here. When I was in London years ago, when I was doing my, find myself phase, I was 25. I used to be in this peace organization called Strategist, and it was before internet. They'd actually give us a list of names all around the world, and you could write to them or call them and say, hey, can I stay at your house? And it was like a cultural exchange. So I stayed with this famous child psychiatrist in London. She lived in the projects, and I went to stay there. It was fascinating. And she did something called creative listening. What she had figured out, troubled children are only troubled because their parents do not pay attention to them every time. And so they had these listening hours, and I assisted in those. After 5 minutes of shutting your trap and letting the kid talk, and just so they're not doing anything dangerous, and just not giving them your emotion, because you go, oh, that's so great. That's actually kind of manipulative that parents do that. We do that all the time. But just, they are the ones, after 5 minutes, they go, and then after the hour, they go home and they're easier to deal with to those parents.
Yeah.
Same for adults, because attention is the highest form of love. Actual attention, highest form. That's why when parents go, yes, they should just go, yes, sweetie, and give them 5 solid minutes where they're not doing something. Those kids go, and they don't need to then be mama. It's the ones that never give their kids attention where the kids are mama. My kids never do that.
Yeah.
Because I knew this. They never go mama, because they always got so much attention that they'll just leave me alone now, more or less. Mom, yeah, okay, great. So the point is, same applies. Treat people like human beings and actually try to develop some kind of care about them. You see, I actually do care about people. I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint, but actually one of my traits is I do care about people. I truly care about their lives. I'm an empath. I care about them being successful. I care about them not being where I was. It gives me so much joy when somebody succeeds. I actually cry. When my clients succeed, I actually start crying. And I pray for my client's success every day. So I think the prayer helps. So best practices, treat people like human beings. Best practice, don't automate everything. Semi-automate. If you're going to automate, the automated, oh, but I have an automated system on LinkedIn. We know it's automated. We know that's a robot or a bot. We know it. Do you think that feels good that a bot just answered me and I know it? No, stop the bots. The bots don't work, folks, because we know it. And I want to save time. But yes, when you're saving time, you are basically throwing those leads away because people are too lazy to dig in to their market and have a decent conversation. A woman texted me yesterday. I friended her. She said, hey, I want to join your group. Sure. I said, what do you do? And she started telling me. And I said, hey, you know what? And I encouraged her. She goes, I've only made 20K in 6 months. I said, that is a lot. I said, I made 10K 1 year of my life. She went, you're admitting that? I said, yes. I said, I don't want you to feel crappy about your life because that tactic of making people feel like shit because you want to sell to them. I'm against that. What I want to do is I want people to feel amazing about how far they've come. And yes, you could even do better, but you're doing a great job. She said, wow, you're the only person that ever said that. They usually say, oh, that's not very good and I could help you. I said, no, that's really amazing. She went, wow, I just did a deep dive. She goes, you actually seem honest and sincere. I'm booking a call yesterday. Okay. And I mean, I don't think, I think I'm honest. And I said, thanks for noticing. Thanks for noticing. So what's best practices is be the leader, be the light in a world of brutes, because there's a world of brutes called spammy marketing. Don't fall for that. Say, I'm a leader. I'm never going to be like that. You have to market though. You have to do the work. You have to reach out. So best practices is to do your reach out, be voracious about follow-up and being a business person, but just the way you do it, be nice, be good to people, and don't treat them like a number. So that's the best practices. And best practices are do the work, because it's not like I sat around doing nothing and people just flocked to me. No, because they didn't know me online. I had to start all over again after 8 years of coaching. So that was the first part of your question. The second part was, what was the second part?
Well, first, I want to say, if those of you who don't listen to the podcast, go back and listen. Our last guest last week, and you should check it out too. It's a book called The Lost Art of Connecting. And I think you would relate to it a lot. It was with Susan, oh my goodness, it's Friday, McPherson. And we talked a lot about this. We talked a lot about how relationship building and connecting now is so transactional. And I think you just kind of reaffirmed a lot of what we talked about last week. But she had some really good tips, tools, and advice, or as I just coined the term, ghouls, which is whatever, tools and advice to help you sort of make those more deeper, more meaningful connections as well. And I think, to your point, being human, being focused, following up, doing what you say, walking the walk, not just talking the talk, is what builds trust, what builds credibility, which is really the long game, what sort of gets those like leads to actually close it, but it's not immediate gratification. And so I think
it is also that. And I just want to be really clear on this call. No, I am not that nurture forever kind of gal. If that's the kind of person, I'm that person. Build a connection quickly and see if they want to have help, because life is short. I'm not going to wait 2 years. I've had people come back after 2 years and go, I want to work with you now. I should have done it before. So my thing is, this is my whole thing. You're going to think I'm big-headed, but I'm not. I change people's lives. So why would I make them wait to change their life? Because they need it back and forth. No. So I'm not saying, oh, you have to have a long game. Some of it's long, some of it's short. So my thing is, there's long and there's short. There's short-term gain and long-term game, not game. Okay. And so so what I'm saying is, like that woman, hey, how you doing? You want to join my group? Yes. Okay, great. Oh, you're amazing. Okay. Yep. I want to book a call all in one day. Now, some people, they want to talk forever, like forever. I found those people usually don't work with me, because I'm kind of the person you want help now, because then they start to regret they didn't hire me earlier. There's the regret of, well, I should have hired this woman a year ago. Now look where I am. Because they go into that attachment to the pain. It's hard for me to get them out of that. The point is, yes, it can be quick. I get clients from $0 to $17,000 in 6 weeks sometimes. So yes, we are reaching out, and we are having conversations, and we are posting content, and we are doing our, like attraction marketing. But if you're solely doing attraction marketing, it will take forever. Okay. So if you want to do attraction marketing and reach out marketing and really make this work, you're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to do the uncomfortable, fearful thing of selling. Nobody wants to sell. Nobody wants to sell. Can I just tell everybody, it's good to sell, because when people come into your market and you can truly help them, they're lucky that they found you. So I feel anyone that gets on a call with me just hit the jackpot, because I am going to fast track them. And I'm going to say, just do this, and this, and you got this, because you are powerful and you got this. So a lot of my coaching is really helping people to manifest their power while we are using very good strategies. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to let you know.
That was great. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So what are some of the common missteps or mistakes that you see when people are approaching organic marketing?
They don't do the work. They don't do the work. They don't want to do the work. It's like, oh, Jeanne Omlor is this, amazing person, and they think I'm going to like sprinkle fairy dust on their head, and they're not going to do the work. Of course, I'm going to support you. We have an amazing team. We help with content. We help with heart-based sales, mindset, healing in my group. We have a person that checks in with you every day. We are on fire helping our clients. But the fact is, I can't do the work for you. I can do it with you. We really help a lot. But if a person, a human being, doesn't want to be comfortable with the fear of not being in a familiar zone, we can't do it. And I thought a lot about this. You cannot become a huge success without the fear of treading on really uneven ground. And if you want everything to be exactly as it was, but then success just gets injected into your life with no balancing act, you're smoking dope. Sorry. Sorry, I'm allowed to talk like this, but
absolutely.
It's legal now, right? Okay. So the point is that has to be addressed. We will give you the support. I'll be your rah-rah girl. I'll be your cheerleader. I will, because I'm a really good mindset coach as well. But you got to do the work. So the biggest mistake is getting so afraid of being seen and not doing the work and hoping that you're going to get a result. If you don't, it's like saying, I'm going to bake a cake. Okay. I make a chocolate cake, but I don't want to put chocolate in the cake. Well, then it's not a chocolate cake. It's I don't know what cake. And I want a chocolate, but I don't want to put the chocolate in. Well, then you're not going to get a chocolate cake. You won't. But I want the chocolate cake without the chocolate in it. Well, then it's not a chocolate cake. It's a vanilla cake or a egg cake or I don't know what. Fine. But it's not going to be the chocolate, which is the success, because we all want chocolate, right? So folks, everyone, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, as I've invested so much, even when I had no money in deep debt, I still plunked down a credit card and I bet on myself. And the reason I did that house fiasco, because I was not betting on myself. I was trying to make it easier and not have that pain of more debt. made it worse. And I thought that was a big lesson from God. Bet on yourself. And I shudder to think what would have happened if I hadn't just, I thought, that's it, bet even more. Now I have another scenario going on. So I've been there. 2 children with no money at 50, it really feel like a failure. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 54 in debt, 2 children. And what are they seeing of me? So they've seen me blossom. They're like, wow, our mom is a rock star. That's what they think now. You know, they don't ever say that to me. But when I bought a Tesla, my daughter was like, wow, we have a sports car. So it's kind of a sports car. She looks like a sports car to me. She goes, I feel important now. I said, well, you shouldn't feel important. She goes, no, I mean, I feel important because you've done so well. It's like, oh my gosh, I love you. She got it.
That's awesome.
It wasn't about the car. She knows that. She goes, I just feel so important. Mama, you're doing so well. I cried.
Yeah.
So it's also, I want to model for my children that you can be down in the dumps and there always can be resurrected like a phoenix. So no matter where you are, if you decide to get somebody that's willing to help you, who has a good strategy, and you are willing to disengage from that sadistic attachment to pain, which people I've realized, they're sadistically attached to their story of pain. If you're willing to say, I am sadistically attached to that and I want to detach and I want to fly, do it.
Yeah, I mean, we can have you come back and just talk about that alone, mindset for sales. I think
I'd love to come back.
General, I think women in general, this mindset for sales, it's just, there's so much about, especially when it means selling something that is a superpower, a strength, a capability, a competency of our own, because we're constantly telling ourselves we're not good enough yet. We can't.
Good enough. I'm just not good enough. See, my whole thing, if you just remember one thing from today, please everybody write this down. You are worthy and ready, right? N-O-W and big N-O-W. You are worthy and ready right now. It's not when I get money from my job, when my kid graduates, when we get in a better financial situation, when I get certified 50,000 times over. I mean, most of the people that come in to work with me, like this woman, Selena was 23, not certified, working full-time in tech. She came to me, she goes, I want to be a coach. I said, great, what? She goes, I don't know. I said, let's figure something out. I figured something out on the sales call. And basically I said, why don't you do what I do, but for millennials? She goes, wait, you're going to teach me what you do and I can turn around and sell it. I said, yep, because I am not a gatekeeper. I'm your friend. And she said, what? Do you do that? I said, absolutely. I don't believe in competition. There's just so much for everybody, right? Nobody. So turn around. She made $17,000 in 6 weeks, kept going, quit her job, moved to Hawaii, and now she's a famous coach. Well known for millennials. Yep.
I love it. All right.
Certification? Nothing. None.
That's amazing.
Anyway, I know.
Back to organic marketing though. Yes. Since we aren't looking at things like our cost per click, if those of you who are familiar with paid marketing, what are some KPIs for organic?
Great question, because I'm a numbers gal. Okay.
Love our data.
So this is what you do. You always, I have a clicker, but I also just put it on a Post-it. You keep track of how many connections you've made each day. And I have a tracker for each client because I am a numbers gal. It's all in, my dad was a mathematician. It's all in the numbers and charisma. Yes. And power, but still it's numbers. Sales is numbers. So you keep track of each connection and what you're doing. And I have a tracker for each client. We know what every client's doing every day if they fill it out. And we can say, okay, we got to get those. So how many connections, how many people connected with you? How many people had a conversation? How many people got on a call? And how many people close? So yes, you do your KPIs because I know the numbers and I know if somebody's, making connections and they're connecting with 40 people a day and they're not getting any calls. I look through each part of that. It's a funnel, it's still a funnel. Funnels, not just click funnels, folks. It's not a landing page. Sales, every type of sales is a funnel. So yes, there is an organic funnel. What are your numbers? Now, if your numbers, I look at each part of the funnel and I'm going, okay, this is where this needs to be fixed. And this is where this needs to be tweaked. We go through it. And when we fix each stage of the funnel, then you get more clients because we're figuring out what's. Now, the first part of the funnel that people have a lot of problems with, that we help a lot with, is the offer. If they're not clear on the avatar, the offer and how. So who, what, how. Now, most people struggle for years with this. They don't know what their, call to action is. I help who with what. They don't know. and they think they're going to sell, but confusion doesn't sell. So I personally work with each client at the very beginning to get, and I craft this. Sometimes I come up with stuff. I come up with great stuff. Like a person came in, she was a doctor, hated being a doctor. I said, what do you want to coach on? She goes, I don't know. I just heard you're amazing. I said, okay, help me out a bit. She's like, I don't know. I said, what are you good at? I'm not good at anything. I thought, Lord, help me. I said, okay. What are you passionate about? She goes, Ayurvedic medicine. I said, great. Do you have any training? She goes, yeah, I trained in India. I said, how much? She goes, 3 levels. I said, happen to know that's the highest level.
Yeah.
But she had low confidence.
Right.
Said,
underselling herself. Yeah.
I know. I said, you know what? You could do Ayurvedic medicine, lifestyle. I can. Do you think people will pay for that? I said, actually, I know they'll pay.
Yeah.
Made 22K in 8 weeks from scratch, never marketed. Never. She said, you're amazing. Her husband said, this is an incredible transformation. My wife knows how to sell, get on sales calls, reach out, offer, coach. In 8 weeks, he came in. I helped him be a grief coach. That's not easy either. I said, sure, I'll help you.
It's amazing.
He's working full time in the hospital. He said he filled his agenda. He said, you're a genius. So it's not about gatekeeping. It's like, what do you want to do? Another guy came in. He goes, I want to coach. I don't know what. I said, we'll work it out. He goes, okay, men's leadership. We started working. I said, you're not into this. He goes, no. I said, what are you really into? He goes, I love crypto. I said, you could be a crypto coach. He goes, you think so? I said, absolutely. 15K in 5 weeks from scratch. Never been, he wasn't even on Facebook. I had to get him on Facebook. I said, Facebook is the best place. Never sold anything, never got on a call, never did anything. He did the work. So my message is you don't have to always be getting ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to then be ready, to be ready, to then start something. Because this ready, you're losing your life. Now, I'm going to tell you something, not because I want you to feel sorry for myself. Okay. My mom and my sister passed away last year, all within 6 weeks. Okay. And, I already am a time Nazi because I've always not wasted time in my life. I don't waste time. Yeah. I mean, I block, I'm going to show you something. I block my weeks, my days. Here's my thing into 2 days. So I put second day each day. So I block my days into 2 separate days to be more productive because, you wane. And then after 12, it's like, oh, the day. No, I start a new day fresh because I realized if you have 2 days in one, you get more work done. So, same amount of time. So what was I going to say? So they died, passed away, whatever, and they're gone, And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to waste a minute of my life now. I'm not going to waste a minute because my sister was not that much older than me, and I was like, you know what? Why are we waiting for our good? Don't wait. Find somebody that's going to be helping you and be committed to helping you and believes in you. They got to believe in you. Now, I won't take a client unless I believe in them because they'll know it. So when they start to get fear-based, I'm like, I said, wait a minute. I wouldn't have taken you as a client. They're like, you're right. I said, know that if you're my client, I believe in you. If I believe in you, it means you can do this. Just do the work, please. So then I've moved mountains for people that were stuck. They're like, one guy, like he couldn't do the work. And then I do shifting as well. I shifted him and he said, oh my gosh, he went and just did, why was I not started sending out 25 connections and getting on sales calls? He admitted to the whole group. He said, I never felt comfortable enough to admit to a group that I was a drug addict 25 years ago. And why can't I said, use that grit. He goes, yeah, you just brought me back to myself and what I'm capable of. And he said, you just shifted something that I had not been able to shift for 25 years. Yeah. Do it. So it's really about belief. When you find somebody that believes, just plonk the money down and stop worrying about the money. Money is not what you should be worried about. You should be worried about time.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when we're looking for KPIs, it's definitely connections, conversations, closings, not clothing, and word of mouth referrals is another thing I heard. You didn't list it, but you definitely mentioned it when you coach a woman and you help her succeed. Her husband sees it, comes to you, word of mouth. It's such a powerful tool. It kind of cuts straight through all the BS and gives you the opportunity to have the in right away because you've already got, street cred. Essentially, you've got credibility when you walk into the room, earned cred. That's like an amazing thing to have. So I think that's awesome.
Testimonials are great too, because that's referral in a way.
Yes.
You'll see my page. I have hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to back it up a little bit. I kind of went straight for KPIs just because we do love to talk about the end results, but as you're through organic strategy, What does that strategy begin to look like? How are you defining your audience? How are you defining your what and your how?
Okay, so that is a work in progress. And there's so much shame around this. I want to just release that. I kept changing my I help who for a long time. And on my social media and finding the right words, I've changed it probably 70 times while I'm getting, then I started focusing on visionaries. I thought, no, I don't just want any coaches. I want visionaries. I want people. It doesn't mean you have to be Tony Robbins. It just means that you care about other people. And if I'm going to help you, I get compounded good. And then I'm feeling like my purpose is being fulfilled more because I have a purpose and not just a goal. And that my purpose is to help people help people. So that's all I mean. But that is a work in progress. And you can make money without, you got to be clear to start with. And that could be tweaked, but you don't have to be clear forever. Nobody knows I've changed that. Nobody cares. Not everybody's watching you. Oh, she changed a word. So you have to be really clear on who are you serving? Okay. Who? Is it moms? Is it coaches? Is it digital marketing agencies? Is it roofing companies? Is it who? Okay. Who are you helping? With what? So you help XYZ with, and I used to do this offline too, because people struggle with this online. And I had I went to NYU alumni and taught them this. They've never heard it. Like, be so clear, online or offline. It used to be, I help small businesses explode their sales and profits. And they go, wow, that was a really good one. Okay. Who? Small businesses explodes because I was more broad then. Okay. Now it's, I help coaches to scale to 6 or 7 figures with organic marketing. Very clear, right? Coaches, consultants, and service providers, but it's all kind of the same. Scale to 6 or 7 figures with organic marketing. So I had the who, the what, and the how right in there very quickly in one sentence. So people are like, okay, I get it. Yep, that's me. Yep, I want to get there. And oh, that's how you do it. Because then they don't have to say, it says no. If you look on my Facebook, it says no ads and no drama. Because you know what? There's no drama in numbers. That's why I put no drama. It's just the numbers. That's why people don't get that. And they're like, because there's no drama in numbers. Don't tell me the drama. Tell me the numbers that tells the story, right? Yeah. I say that with team members. I'm like, no drama, just numbers, please. No drama. Nope. That's later. You tell me the drama about what happened. Tell me. And they're like, we're getting, they're getting better at that. So that's it. I forget the question now.
That makes a lot of sense.
I do ramble on.
Who you're helping, what you're helping them with, and then how you do that. I mean, that's a nice, simple framework, but I do think it's so easy for us. And Margie in our comments, one of our listeners was just saying that that's me. I've played with so many statements about who I help and what I do. It feels hazy. Analysis paralysis is real. How do you know when to move on something? How do you know when you've hit the right thing?
Honestly, you got to test, and you really do need an outside person doing this. I've seen people just go around and around in their heads for years. And I'm like, why don't you just get help? Yeah. Why? We all know you need outside help. This is just a fact.
Yeah.
Coaches, do you think that these NBA players are going to do it on their own without a coach? Why would you not be that person and really respect yourself that you're an NBA player? I call myself the football coach, actually. The NBA player in life. Why are you putting yourself down that you're not as good as those people? Stop it. I just said that. Stop it. So sorry, I could be in your face. So yes, and the haziness, if you don't, this is the thing, if you don't know what you're selling, neither does your market, and they sure as heck are not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Sure as heck. You're not going but a lot of people just want people to sort of buy stuff. We don't just buy stuff. We buy stuff when we know exactly what that is, and we need it, and we know we need it. We don't go into a shop and go, oh yeah, I think I'll take that thing over there in the corner, but I can't quite see it. Who buys like that? No one. I'm going to kind of buy that thing in the corner. I can't quite see it because it's blurry, but I'll buy it anyway. That's what they expect us to do. And then they got all angry about it. I've seen so much anger and bitterness about this. Like, oh, people should just know what I do. No, we should not just know. That's your job. It's your job to label correctly what you do, because it's your job to do a good job of marketing that people put their hands up. Right. It's all about the hook. Yep. And you need help with that. Everybody, and I needed help with that. And that's the one thing I got out of that program. One thing, that first program that was not very good. I said, you must get on a call with me. I'm struggling with this. And the guy went, oh, okay. I said, wow, one phone call in like 10 weeks. Thanks.
Great for $10,000.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So it made me realize what not to do. I have so much support. My clients are like, you're so supportive. It's like enabling almost, So the point is, if you can't do that on your own, get help. Why would you go for years not getting help? Why? Because you don't want to spend the money, or you're losing your life. Spend the money, folks. Get help. If you find somebody that you resonate with, hire that person, whether it's me or somebody else. I don't care. Just want you to get help, right? That's it. So that takes a lot of thinking and testing, and it might not be right the first time. You test, okay, that's not working. Let's tweak it. But everybody wants a home run. They want to go out of the gate and they want to just like, oh, doesn't happen. Rarely, except for my clients sometimes. Sometimes it happens with my clients, I must say. So there is a little magic wand sometimes for certain people because we got it right away. We got it on the first try. I won't lie. This does happen sometimes, but don't expect it. Expect that you're going to have to test. That's all.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What is one thing that you wish everyone else knew about organic marketing?
I just wish they knew that, once you get clear on your offer, your avatar, and you go out there and just start talking to people, it is like magic. It's just, you just do the work. It works like every time.
We're so good at complicating things, aren't we?
No,
there need to be systems and programs and software, and there's just nothing can replace true, authentic storytelling, connection, relations, and then results.
And making the offer. We're so afraid to offer. How are you going to make a sale if you can't get yourself to say, this is what I do? Let's get on a call and tell them the price. Now, I got to $1 million. I told people not to go to my website because it still had my business executive coaching on there. I didn't have time. I was too busy making money. I thought, I'm not redoing my website. Just go to I always sent them to my Facebook. Just go. That's a better website. Go to my Facebook feed. That's what I'm doing now. And I go, okay, I said, no, you don't really want to see my website. They're like, you don't want me to go? No, it's old. Now I've updated it, but I thought, I'm not wasting time on that. That's just, people spend too much time going around and around. They go around, but they don't go in the pond. They go around and around, around and around. And they do stuff like they're fixing their website. Oh, fixing the website. That could take forever.
I've spent like half my career doing that website refreshes. So
I'm going to build an email list. Really? You don't need an email list right now. All you need to do is just talk to people. So I got to $1 million. You feel so attacked. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's good that I'm not talking to anybody in particular because they know I'm not pointing the finger. But the point is, I got to $1 million not using a website because I told them, don't go there. Oh, no, it's an old, no. And I had one part-time assistant that worked 2 or 3 hours a day. Right? I had a Facebook group, my computer, and my phone, and Zoom. That was it. I had no salespeople. I had no email list to speak of. It was all me being on social media, posting and making connections with people and coaching. So, I mean, really, folks, it doesn't have to be that difficult. Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a computer? Do you have free Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram account? Yeah, I think we all have that. It's free. And guess what? Those are technically websites. People don't understand this. Our profile is a website.
Yep.
They don't understand that. I'm like, you have a website. Where? I said, your Facebook profile is a website. Technically it is. They're like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Yep. Free website. Already there. So yeah. Do you want us to start answering questions now?
No, but I just want to say for a second, I love it because I feel like you're breaking brains of every single marketer listening to this call right now, because there's so much traditional training, and I'm using air quotes for those you can't see me, that it is really hard sometimes to just get outside of and think outside of the box. So I love the things that you were trying to push us to just break out of this very kind of bound thinking about how marketing works and how it's supposed to be and how it is.
Yeah. And I hated marketing. I was that person when I started. I was not a very successful actress because I wasn't good at marketing myself. I'm an introvert. And I'm like, oh, I don't, and it was really hard to go to auditions even. They were like, you got to go to more auditions. I'm like, so I didn't want to market. I don't want to market. I just want people to discover me. That's what I was. It was pathetic. Yeah. So when I became a coach, and my coach says, Jeanne, you have to market. I said, I hate marketing. She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, I remember that I said that myself 10 years ago. She said, you must learn how to market, and it's going to be, and it was so painful to learn. I wanted to vomit every time. I was like, it's so icky. And I thought, if I just thought, oh, this is so icky, I don't want to do it. But I thought, you know what? You got to do the hard stuff. I could have said, oh, it's not aligned. I hear so many people go, oh, it's not aligned. It's not aligned because you don't want to get out of your familiar zone. I've been there.
Right.
I know I'm an introvert and I was an actress. We don't want, most actresses are introverts actually. And I thought, wait, she goes, do you want to make a go of this and save, your whole life? If you don't do this, she goes, you will not get your choice. And I thought, she's right. I thought, what? I have no choice. Single mom, I had to do it. It was painful. It was like, I'm talking about, like, every time I had to talk to somebody, I was like, oh, I have to go to a networking event. I have to talk to people. I hate being, I did what it took. And I am the person that was the hardest for. Seriously. I was sleep deprived when I was doing it. Really sleep deprived. My kid never slept. Yeah.
And it harkens back to what you were talking about earlier too, about mindset. And there's something about, and I felt this having been in marketing and advertising for so many years, that like when I was trying to sell something that I knew was bullshit, it was really hard to show up, be authentic, and do the sale. When I was just showing up and being authentic and truly passionate about the brand, the project, the client that I was working on, it didn't feel like selling. And that leads nicely into our question that we have here with Katrina. So maybe we can help support her and give her a little pep talk as well. Her question is, I hear what you're saying, but I'm still struggling with imposter syndrome. I'm sure someone will buy from me, but I'm afraid that they will feel that I fell short. How can I take baby steps to get going? Low priced beta offer with feedback to improve and then raise my prices, ? Or ...
No.
Right. I'm like,
no. Okay. This is the deal. I want you all to hear this. Okay. You are the greatest. You're the greatest. We're all the greatest. Muhammad Ali said that over and over because he had a mindset coach telling him that. Guess what? He was the freaking greatest boxer ever. And most of that was because he got up every day and told the whole world and himself, I am the greatest. Do you remember that? Because I'm the greatest. Because I'm the greatest. Now we know all about Muhammad Ali because my brother was obsessed with him. And he was great. I don't like boxing, but he was great. Okay. But this imposter syndrome, it's not a thing. We've made it a thing. It is not a thing.
Yeah.
We've made that a thing. It was never a thing. That was just, oh, I lack confidence.
Yeah.
When you make it a thing, it's a thing. Now it's a thing, imposter syndrome. No, it's not. I'm just telling you right now, it's made up. Okay.
Right.
All it means is something else to me. Now it's a label. Oh, I have imposter. Yes, I know you don't feel good. And I know that you feel like lack of confidence. But once you say it's imposter syndrome, it's a syndrome.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Exactly.
What if you said, I don't have imposter syndrome? I'm just feeling a little lack of confidence right now.
Right.
First reframe. Okay. Second thing, one of my clients found me on a leadership panel during COVID. She reached out and she goes, I want to work with you. I said, great. And I said, okay. She goes, I'm doing a beta. I said, nope, no beta. She goes, well, I said, I'll just tell you my prices. I said, you just paid 10K to work with us. No beta. I am here to get you ROI ASAP. And I can't do that with the beta. Not right. Not going to happen. No. She's like, oh, okay. So I crafted an offer. Now she was not even certified. She was at life coach school. And she goes, I know they're not going to teach me how to get clients. She goes, I want to get clients anyway. And then I said, yeah, you don't need to be certified. She goes, I know. So full-time doctor during COVID, also had a toddler. I crafted the offer. It was like 3,500, I think, always high ticket. The reason why I make so much money for people is I get them past all that. And I say, you are worth it right now. And we're going to do high ticket out of the gate. They're like, what? I said, yep, we're going to do it. And I just make them just do this quantum leap where we do a blip and you just don't go into all that shit. Okay. And we're going to, okay. And I'm behind them. So we work it out. And I remember I was leaving the house on a Saturday and she leaves me these messages. She goes, okay, so I'm getting some people into my beta. And I thought, beta, what's she doing? I'm tying my shoelaces. And I thought, oh, no. I call her. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm just not, nobody's going to pay. I said, stop.
Oh.
I did NLP with her. I said, stop. She was like shocked. And I said, stop crying right now. And she was like, she didn't expect that. Mm-hmm. Shocked. She went, I said, now listen. You are worthy and ready right now. And you are not freaking working for free because you are so worth it. People should be paying you more than this and you will go do this. Then she took a second and she went back. She goes, oh, but now I've promised. I said, stop. I said, it's okay. You promised 3 people. You have to give them the free shit. Okay. Now you got to do that because you promised. Stop offering it now though. Okay. I said, now listen to me. You did not pay 10K for me to fall into your weakness and drag me along with you. I will not do that. I will not do that. You're never going to hear that from me. Do you understand me? She's like, yes. I said, so this is the deal. We're going back to what we said. You're going to charge them 3,500 because you are worth it. You are amazing. And she is. I said, you are so good at this and you will do it. And she said, okay, guess what? 2 days later, she says, Jeanne, I now have 4 clients at $3,500. And she said, I'm crying here because you believed in me. I would have been doing betas for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Years. I said, I know it. And she made $29,000 in 11 weeks of working with us. My program's 12. She did 20, and then she kept working with us. Okay. And then she was on fire. I could see her energy was gone, and then she had people come into her. So you got to get over that leap. You got to just close your eyes and grin and bear it, and just be like, okay with that, to just do it. Because really, you're not going to die. You got nothing to lose. All you have to lose is if you don't take a bet on yourself. Then there's that whole story, which some people are addicted to. Oh, if I'd done that earlier at one, I wish I'd worked with you 2 years ago. Great, let's do it now. Oh, but now I'm feeling like shit. Blah, blah, blah. Still don't want to do it. Sorry, I can't help you. I know I'm being a little bit,
no, you're great. You just gave me an idea for a t-shirt or a bumper sticker or a quote or whatever. It's just like, how long?
Just do it. I think that's been taken.
That one's been taken, but just this idea of how long are you going to let yourself live in beta?
No, just how long are you going to do that? Just, numbers. Be clear with yourself. You're going to do it for a year, 2 years, think you're worthy and ready enough. You're ready. If you have an idea that you can help somebody, your consciousness knows that. So why are we doing all this human? One of my colleagues said to me, he goes, you are like, I'm named after Joan of Arc, St. Joan of Arc. Okay. He's like, you're like this. I said, St. Joan of Arc. He goes, yes. He goes, people like you simplify everything. He goes, because he's been in marketing for years. He goes, wow, I wish I'd known you years ago, because it's like freaking amazing. They don't know anything. You don't have an offer, no problem. You don't have an email, no problem. You don't have a website, no problem. Do you have an idea? Sure. Well, let's do it. Because if somebody has an idea, this is what I know. If you have an idea, if it's crossed your mind that you've conceived of it, I know you can do it. Now, if you've never even thought about it, well, you wouldn't be on a call with me, right? You wouldn't be on a call with me if you hadn't thought of it. So it's so much easier in some ways than people are imagining. And then you do something very simple many times, not 1,000 things and all over the place and FOMO and shiny object and screwing your brain actually and wanting to get results and then doing a little bit of each. Yeah. No, I'm going to relieve you of all that, guys. It's okay not to be on everything. It's okay to have no website. It's okay to have no email list. I'm going to relieve you of all that guilt of what you should have. All you need is one free social media account, a computer, and a phone, and you can make $1 million. Seriously, I did it.
All right, we are at time. For those who want to hang around, I want to make sure we get this other question asked that we have in the chat. What type of clients do you have initially now? I find that people don't believe in non-traditional approaches and prefer what the hive says. What is your advice to break through clients that need what everybody else is recommending? And Claire, you can come off of mute if you want.
Claire, can you tell me what you do? It's a little, I want to be clear on exactly what you do, because then I have more context. Hey there.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm still in my workout wear, so I feel like, ugh.
No worries.
So I do communications and digital marketing. And I find, so a typical example that always strikes me is when it comes to websites, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone wants a WordPress website.
Yes.
And it's not always the best idea. If you don't have the staff to constantly monitor WordPress, those plugins and all of that, it can be a mess. But the very first when I recommend, say, something that's not WordPress, I can almost see that confidence go, you're recommending what, and so that's like an example that's constantly recurring. That's on the top of it.
I have enough data now. Okay. This is what you have to do. You need to overcome that objection before they even have it. This is sales now. You need to have enough data and enough, this is so great. Not as you could even do a WordPress versus kind of post or video where you're analyzing WordPress. No, this. So they are pre-sold that you know better. Okay. Because what's happening is you're waiting for them to go and be disappointed, aren't you? You're waiting.
No, yeah? But I have that. I have all those that show, okay, this is what
then you need to show testimonials on how freaking amazing you are. Okay. You guys are going to get a testimonial page. Nobody can go to my page and go, oh, organic marketing doesn't work. But I get a lot of people on the call who go, I've just sunk $30,000 into ads and I'm desperate now because ads are not working like they used to. We all know that. And yet you need so much money and you're lucky if you get, 30%, what was it? One guy who honestly told me his numbers, he said, if you sink 10K and you might get 20 or 30, those are not good numbers for ads. Not at all. He was really honest. I said, he goes, I'll be honest, not great, but that's what's happening now. So you need to be so confident in what you do. And it's not showing for me. I can't feel it. No offense. I'm not feeling it that you are so confident. When people get on the phone with me, I am so beyond confident. I am way more confident about me than they are. And when you are selling, you need to be 1,000% confident in what you're doing because nobody's going to buy from Jeanne Omlor if I'm like, oh, I think maybe I could help you. You're going to buy from me? Who's going to buy from me if I go, well, I think maybe I could help you. I'm not sure. So you have to be 100% on that. Show them I am a freaking rock star. I know what I'm doing and I'm an authority. You're not saying that. You're showing them that they don't have, nobody who gets on a call with me, nobody's ever said, gee, I doubt you know what you're doing. They go, clearly you're an authority. I've seen your testimonials. They might not be a fit. Some people don't want my football coaching. They want me to call them lovely. And, some people want a coach that they just love, but there's no results. I don't get that myself. But, I don't care if people love me or not. It's great. I'd rather get them results than they hate me. Some of my clients go through that. They're like, I went through a moment where I hated you because you put my feet to the fire. And then I thought that was really, now I'm in love with you because I'm making money. And I see that point sometimes where I'm not going to go, oh, I want you to like me so much. Sure, don't do the work. No. So stick up for people. You stick up for that person that you will help them. And that's your job. And if they work with you, you need to believe that you are going to change their lives. And if you don't believe that, Clara, you've got to develop that because they feel that. So a lot of this is energy and you have to have 1,000,000% conviction in what you are selling. And what you are selling is actually yourself. You're selling yourself. 1 billion people do what you do. So we don't buy web services. We buy Clara. We are not buying organic marketing. A lot of people do organic marketing. You are buying Jeanne Omlor and her team. You're not buying coaching. You're buying the coach. Same for you. They're not buying your services. They are buying Clara to have that relationship. So you've got to be more confident that you are the one. And it doesn't really matter what you're selling, just so it works, right?
Yeah. I think you just nailed it. Jeanne, you just nailed it. I think that the key or the secret sauce or whatever the hell you want to call it to organic marketing is absolutely confidence. It's confidence.
And do the work.
Yeah. Do the work. Do the work. Wonderful. Well, this was so fabulous. Love your energy, love your passion for the work that you're doing, the lives that you're changing, and just your willingness to come on and answer questions and share more about how you've made organic marketing work and win for you. I hope all of you that are listening feel energized and excited and ready. We have shared the links in the chat for those of you who are with us live on Zoom today. We'll include them in the show notes as well. If you guys want to connect, you can connect that way. There's lots of ways.
There's lots of ways. And actually my reviews page, if you want to get on a call, I take my calls myself still, even though I'm at 2 million. I didn't like having closers. I felt like it was, I don't know, impersonal. So you get to talk with me. By the way, I love it. I'll come back again. I love talking and helping. As you can see, I talk a lot. I love talking.
No worries.
I love helping. So yeah, there's the link to the reviews. There's a booking link there. And then also, if you want to just see more of my content, Instagram, actually my Instagram, Jeanne Omlor, Instagram, and also Facebook. Actually, we could put my Instagram one in here. Juliana, maybe you could find that. It's the Jeanne Omlor International one. I have 3 or 4 now. Yeah, and a lot of content. Well, this has been a pleasure. I really enjoyed coming on, Amy.
Of course. No, thank you so much. It was good to see you, and hopefully I get to see you soon in person.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. I hope I get to see you all again next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about why success needs a rebrand. So some more good mindset work, but I hope you all take today. You took lots of notes, you sit with it, and then you maybe take some action this week, this weekend. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you again, Jay. This is great.
You're welcome. I'll see you guys in the group. Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.